Hi, everyone. Welcome. We are so excited to have you here to talk about some simple summer swaps to hopefully make your lives easier as a busy mom this summer, as you're running around to different activities, going on vacation, things like that. First off, I want to introduce myself. I'm Chrissy Waite, and I'm a mom of two. My son is 10 and my daughter is 7. 11 years ago, we went through IVF to have my son. And after going through all of that and he was born, I really started to look more at my wellness and the things that I was putting in, on, and around my body. And as I started to learn more, I really wanted to expand my knowledge. So 2 years ago, I completed the Integrative Nutrition Health Coaching Program with the Institute for Integrative Nutrition. And then just recently completed their hormone health course so that I could, like I said, just further that knowledge and be able to share more because I'm passionate about the things that we're putting in, on, and around our bodies within our families. So that's sort of what led me here. And I'm excited to share more with you guys. I'm going to kick it over to Carly now.
Hello, everyone. Okay, so just like Chrissy, I went through IVF to have both of my kids. My daughter is 1.5 and my son is 4. I also am a graduate of IIN too. And where this really started for me was during our fertility journey. The first time we were in the clinic, the waiting room was just full of women and couples. And I started to get curious why so many of us were experiencing infertility. And when I went home, I was still curious. I was still thinking about this. So I looked inside of my tampons, and that's when I realized that there was bleach in there. So I started to really slowly deep dive into swapping out products, learning what ingredients were in products, and it just poured over into when my kids were born to making simple swaps for them. So we know that this can be overwhelming and there's a lot of information out there. And we just wanted to create this simple swap guide for you guys to really pay attention to the sugars and the dyes and certain things that are in our foods. But we also want to emphasize that we're not taking anything away from that whole food, the nourishing, good food, our grass fed beef, organic chicken, fruits, vegetables, whole foods that, we have at our dinner table for breakfast and throughout our day. But we also know that as busy moms in the summer, we're going to barbecues, we're going to beach trips, vacations. We're visiting our parents and in laws, and it's just busy. So we're not always going to be able to have a lot of nourishing foods at certain events. So we created these swaps as you guys are going through the summer just to make better choices. And let's get started. Okay, so kids are known to eat more sugar in the summertime. Like I said, we're all going on vacation to barbecues. We're around different people. We're out of our routine. So kids are in and out of the pantry and the refrigerator. And if we have better options within our house, we're able to control the environment a little bit more. Extra sugar can really affect kids in different ways. It can affect their concentration, their mood, how they learn, their sleep. And kids are really overdoing it with sugar. And when we look at the ingredients, we're going to go over a few things with you, you can really see how it adds up. It really does. My son and I, we baked cookies today for our neighbor, and I was like, oh my God, there's like 13 grams of sugar in one cookie, and we got them from a good place. So it's just when we know better, we can do better, and when we know better, we can make better swaps and healthier choices for our kids. We also made these slides so you guys can take screenshots and reference back if you want to come back to any of these numbers. All right, so total sugars is going to be the amount of natural sugars and added sugars in a particular product. Our goal is to reduce our sugar, so we need to pay attention to what is in each item of food and what we're consuming. And the sugar in fruits and vegetables are not a cause for concern, so you can go ahead and throw those in the freezer, make your own ice cream, popsicles, snacks. We love frozen blueberries over here. My kids think they're candy, so little things like that you want to do. You want to keep doing, and if you start young, your kids will not know the difference between chocolate banana ice cream that you made from frozen bananas and the ice cream you get at the store. But what was really interesting to me here, if you guys have kids, mine obviously are younger than Chrissy's. So when my daughter sees my son having something, she naturally wants it. So if I'm going to have a popsicle in the house or a lollipop in the house and he's going to get something like that, I want to have something that she can also have because here you guys can see younger than 2 are not supposed to have any sugar, much sugar at all. So it's really been intentional for me to pay more attention to this with a under 2 year old as well. And like I said, these grams of sugar really add up in our products. Okay, so what we did is we put together a few simple examples here of what this looks like for each different item in your house. Take peanut butter, for example. The added sugar in things, it really adds up. So you can see that the Skippy has 4 grams of added sugar, and these other options on the right have no added sugar. And what we did was we compiled different items from our everyday stores. So Walmart, Whole Foods, your regular grocery store, Target has a few options, but then Chrissy and I also shop at Thrive. And if you're not familiar with Thrive, I think it is about $50 for the year. Don't quote me, but it is groceries delivered to your door, and we can help you get the app or direct you towards there. But both of us have found that that is an easy way for moms that are busy to pre-order stuff, especially if you know you're going on a trip. Or you, like, for example, I just got back from Hawaii, and before I left, my in-laws were watching my kids. So I stocked up on items I wanted them to have in my house versus items that they would have gone to the store and got. So it just makes it really easy and convenient, and you can get a lot of good things on there. And neither of us are affiliated with Thrive. We both just like to shop there for the simplicity. So I wanted to say that because a few of these items are from there. But you can see
And,
with spaghetti sauce. Oh, go ahead, Chrissy.
and they also make it really easy to shop by dietary,
Yeah.
needs as well. It filters out by gluten-free, paleo, whatever. So I feel like that's really helpful if you're along one of those journeys too.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good point because my daughter can't have eggs in anything. So it does give you the option to filter stuff out. I feel like we should be Thrive spokespeople. And it also saves your previous order and items that you've ordered before. And okay, for example, from Thrive, I love Rayo's sauce, and that's where we get our sauce from because it is at a major discounted price and there's no added sugar in Rayo's. So that is our go-to here. But I was really surprised that spaghetti sauce, of all things, have added sugar. They're just putting so much sugar in things, and sugar is so addicting. And Chrissy's going to touch on that in a little bit. And then also some other simple swaps. Cereal, 12 grams of added sugar in your basic Honey Nut Cheerios. And we're not even touching on Fruity Pebbles and Cinnamon Toast Crunch, the things that you can actually see sugar in, and all of the colorful things that kids love because the marketing team for these products know that kids are attracted to color, so they're going to make them look very kid friendly. But 12 grams of added sugar, that's a lot when we're talking about little kids. So we are not a big cereal family household here, but when we do have it, we love Three Wishes. There's only 3 grams of sugar in there, and I think it tastes great. So it's a great option to have. Again, good price at Thrive. And then, guys, the Capri Sun. This was really shocking to me. 13 grams of added sugar in a Capri Sun. So again, simple swaps to make your kids have a less sugary summer just by paying attention and making some little tweaks within your household. All right, the next thing I'm going to talk about, and one thing that we really had experience here in my household was dye. Dyes can really affect kids' behavior, hyperactivity, attention span, restlessness, aggression, sleep, irritability. It's just a product that can really wreak havoc on kids. Not everyone, like everyone's different, but it is been known to have these effects in kids. Again, marketed towards kids. As you can see on the screen, all of those bright and colorful things are put in products for kids. And one of the biggest things for me is other countries ban this stuff in their products, especially for kids, but it's banned throughout a lot of their products. So it's very eye-opening that companies are actually making two different kinds of Doritos, one for the United States and one for other countries. And once you start to unpack this and realize it really, as a mom, it's very triggering because we don't want our kids exposed to these things that cause harm and can really wreak havoc on their health. So paying attention to dyes is really important, and there's a lot more information on that, other accounts and things to look for with that. All of the items that we are going to be sharing about, all the swaps that we have, are less sugar, are non-GMO, and are dye-free. So you can take some screenshots as we share. If you want to dive into this a little bit more, or if you have a child who's going through any of this, my son, like I said, had some of this that he was going through. But Dr. Rebecca, she has a TED Talk on food coloring and how it impacts kids, and you guys can check that out on her TED Talk. And then here again is a great screenshot for you guys. And again, we're not taking away from the whole food, the fruits and vegetables that we have in our household, going to the farmer's market and things like that with your kids, having them involved in making stuff. My son loves to make our juice. He loves to make stuff in the morning. He loves that creative side of doing stuff and pouring things in the blender. So it's a great way to make different smoothies, make ice cream, and all of the good stuff. Just throw your fruit that's about to go bad into the freezer and then have fun with it with your kids this summer. But go ahead and screenshot this so you have a reference to what dyes are in a lot of these products, and then other simple swaps that you can make if you're looking to change any of these out. Right.
All right, so a lot of our processed foods that you find in those center aisles in the grocery store have chemical ingredients in them, and there's a lot. I'm not going to go over all of them because we would probably be here all day. But I did want to talk about a couple that, in my opinion, stand out the most. Artificial sweeteners, they are used in place of sugar to make you think that the product is healthier because it's marketed as sugar-free or zero, like in the case of sodas and sports drinks. But these chemical ingredients don't actually show up in the nutrition facts part of the food label because they don't have calories. They also don't have any beneficial nutrients like vitamins, fiber, minerals, antioxidants. And then they have some side effects. So things like increased appetite, weight gain, poor blood sugar control. They affect your gut and the bacteria that's growing in there. Increased risk of stroke and heart disease, increased risk for metabolic syndrome like diabetes. And another one is glyphosate, which is found in Roundup and weed killers. And that's a problem because the crops are sprayed with this chemical and through the soil, the crops are absorbing that. And then that's what you end up eating in your food, like Cheerios, Goldfish, Cheez-Its. I mean, you can research which items out there have that chemical or exposed to that chemical. And studies show that it's been linked to increase of cancer, infertility, endocrine disruption. So that's related to your hormone health, celiac disease, autism, and leaky gut syndrome.
Yeah, and I like what you said when we were talking about this earlier, how artificial sweeteners, like you can keep eating it and you don't get full because, of all the processed stuff in there. And it makes you come back for more. The sugar is so addicting.
Right. A lot of the chemical ingredients that are in foods, your body just doesn't register that it's full. Like you can sit there and eat an entire package of Oreos or a bag of chips and wonder how that happened. And it's because of these ingredients that are in there. And we're not trying to like bring fear around food, but just that awareness to look at those ingredients that are in the foods. If you can recognize what they are, then chances are it's going to be a better choice. If you see a lot of weird words that you don't recognize or things that end in ose, like dextrose, sucralose, those are some of the artificial sweeteners out there. Then that kind of clues you in that maybe you want to look at the other options and see what's better for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And there was that good study that just came out on, I'm going to botch the word. I always botch it.
Glyphosate.
Yes, thank you. That it impacts fertility, and kids are getting fed a lot of this at schools and at other friends' houses. And there are easy swaps to make things a little, less toxic for kids. But like Chrissy said, we are not trying to like fear mongle. We don't want people to run around and not eat anything. We're just offering swaps because there's no way we're going to get around all of the chemicals and everything that we're exposed to on a daily basis. But if we can control some of the things that are in our house, it lowers the load for us and for our kids.
All right, so let's talk about some sports drinks and popsicles since those are huge now that we're getting into warmer weather. Um, Gatorade is really surprising because most of the Gatorade flavors out there, they're all a little bit different, have at least 20 grams of sugar. So right there, you're almost at the recommended daily value for your kid in one bottle of Gatorade. Um, and the popsicles, I think the bomb pops have about 20 grams of sugar as well. So, like swapping those that have the added sugar or artificial sweeteners or dyes in them for the items that we like to use, definitely better. Obviously, you don't want to eat popsicles every single day, but these are good options if you want something that you're buying from the store. Johnny Pops is a little bit higher sugar wise than the other ones that we have here. Electrolytes are really important now that the weather's getting warmer too. So having a good coconut water for that, or the hydrate detox drink that we really like, that is sodium based for electrolytes instead of sugar based. So just want to talk about that a little bit, and then we can move on to
Perfect.
snacks.
And then one thing we also wanted to mention is a lot of the items that we did share, you can see that it does say either non-GMO, organic on it, and it's very easily labeled because food companies do like to use words like all natural, and that doesn't really mean anything. Or, we can go into other topics on that, but they'll use words for marketing purposes. So you really want to make sure that they have these stamps of approval on them if you're trying to avoid certain things in your food. Yeah.
Right. And the example of the popsicles there, the orange, cherry, and grape, you'll notice that the box says sugar free. That's because it has those artificial sweeteners in it instead of your regular sugar.
Such a good point. Oh my gosh, yes. Okay. And then again, you guys can make your own popsicles and make it fun with your kids. So it's kind of like a good, better, best option here. And making things at home is also really fun. Okay, so here's the big one, kids and their snacks. All right, so again, items that we're not trying to eat every day or having, in our kids' diet every single day. But if you're on road trips or at the beach, who doesn't love a good chip to take with you? And then here on the right, so what we did was we took what's very common in most households and we took our picks. So I love these Good Crisps. They are so good. They taste just like Pringles, but they don't have all the stuff in them. It's actually a really cute family-owned business who started this company for the same reason why we are sharing this. And then a couple of these other items you can get on Thrive and the Back to Nature. We actually love those. My in-laws are very big Ritz people, and when we have Back to Nature, they can't even taste the difference. They actually really like them. So some of these swaps, you don't even know you're making the swaps, especially for people who've been eating them for 20 years, can't tell. Your kids are not going to tell. And then, so the goldfish, there are some other options there that you guys can look into, but these were kind of our top picks. And you guys can go ahead and screenshot that. And Made Good, I don't know about you, Chrissy, but I tend to find that brand mostly at Target. That's where I pick
Yep.
them up at.
Sometimes
Again,
at Walmart too.
okay, yeah. So Walmart, Target, your regular grocery store is where we get all these items. All right. Okay. So the big one, another big one. We got cookies and fruit snacks and lollipops and all the things. Again, not items that we're going to give our kids every day, but if we do, better swaps. And these that's it bars, I keep them in my purse all the time because they're literally just fruit. That is it. No sugar added, non-GMO. It's literally fruit. So instead of a fruit roll-up that's filled with all kinds of junk, you can keep these in your purse, in your car, and just have them as you need. And then lollipops. I don't know. My son's just now getting into them. So instead of giving him a lollipop filled with dye and sugar, if he gets one every now and then, these Smart Sweets are really good. There's also some other really good ones that have elderberry in them and vitamin C. They are a little high on the sugar side. So for the sake of this, these low sugar ones are really good. Again, Oreos, kids probably aren't going to notice the plant-based ones, non-GMO. a better option than what's traditionally sold in stores. And then again, you'll see made good on here. And then these animal crackers were Thrive. We don't eat much of them, but it's a way better swap for your family.
All right, something else that you're going to need this summer, bug spray and sunscreen. So a lot of the common bug sprays that you'll find out there don't have their full ingredients listed on the bottle. So you don't really know what it is that you're putting on your body. And that's a concern because your skin is your largest endocrine organ. And then the aerosols can contain harmful chemicals like butane and propane. So you want to stay away from those as well. Sunscreen that contains fragrance. Fragrance is a problem because it contributes to allergies, other irritation, respiratory disease. It can contain carcinogens, endocrine disrupting chemicals, environmental toxins. So you want to try and avoid when it says fragrance, whether it's sunscreen or lotion or really anything like that. Also try and avoid ones that have homosalate, oxybenzone, and can't see the last word. Sorry. Oh, it's okay. Octisalate. So those are kind of the keywords to look for when you're shopping sunscreen. And then these are the ones that we really like. Again, you can find most of them Target, Walmart, some on Amazon, Thrive. The body oil, you'll also see on the next slide, but I used it for the first time as a bug spray on Saturday when my daughter and I went to her Girl Scout camp, which was outside. And we came home and we didn't have any bug bites. So I was really pleased with that because it's good for my skin. And also, I know it doesn't have any of those toxic chemicals in it.
Yes, another awesome item for moms to keep in their purse because not only is it like hydrating and nourishing, but if you need a bug spray replacement, it packs a punch with multiple purposes. Also, one thing I just thought of, Chrissy, is if you look at how some of these come out, like the aerosol cans, there's none of that on the cleaner side up top, you know? So, and then sunscreen, the easiest thing to do is when you're shopping for it, just look for ones that contain just zinc. Like that's kind of the easiest swap I found is just thinking about that. But again, most of these are on Amazon and your local stores, so pretty easy to find.
And then now we wanted to get into some of the like everyday items, just to kind of help you out, maybe making some of those swaps, but swapping out your lotions, body wash products that again, these all contain fragrance. Some of them also contain other chemicals and things that you don't want to expose your bodies to. And then toothpaste, watch out for the titanium dioxide, dyes, and SLS, which is sodium lauryl sulfate. And then you can swap them out with ones that have better ingredients and fewer ingredients. Like if you look at the ingredient list again, like it should be smaller, not like this long list of all these different chemicals. So there's the body oil again, which is amazing. The cleansing bar, I cut that in half and put it in a like mesh bag that my kids have in their bathroom so that they can use that while they shower. And I've got the other half in mine and it lasts a really long time. And we love both of those brands of toothpaste. I've been using the David's one for a little while now. I know Carly's used some of the other lotions, right?
Yes, and with if you have younger kids on this call and you're just starting to introduce toothpaste, having a fluoride-free one is really important because my kids like to swallow and eat the toothpaste. So Rinsewell and David's are both fluoride-free, so that's something to look out for as well. And I've actually used these other products on my kids. My daughter has really sensitive skin and they work phenomenal. What I have noticed is we are outside a lot and my kids are barefoot a lot and her feet kind of get irritated, I guess, from the grass. She's not allergic and it's not eczema, so I'm kind of like, what is it? But our cleansing bar, phenomenal. And I am not a bar soap person at all. So the fact that I'm preaching about this says a lot because bar soap was just not something I ever used. It dried my skin out. This one is very hydrating, very nourishing, and leaves your skin really soft. But the body butter also protects the skin while it hydrates and nourishes skin. So every night I use it on her feet and instantly she's hydrated and that irritation is pretty much gone by the next morning. So it is a big fan favorite in our house for a lot of different reasons.
Smells really good.
And yeah, and if my kids happen to like stick their finger in it and eat it or like put it in their mouth, I mean, all the things, I don't have to worry as much because I know that there's nothing in there that's toxic or that I need to call poison control for or something. So, all right. And one other question that we get a lot is organic costs more. Well, that's not really true. It may seem that way when it comes to certain items, but there's a lot of items that you can make swaps for that are organic, even at your basic Walmart, for example. And then, like items like ketchup too. You want to buy organic, and like Chrissy has been saying, less ingredients. The less ingredients written on something, the better. And just even making those simple swaps and being aware of that is huge. So if you're on a budget or if you're looking to budget for some certain items, what we like to do is we've been doing this for a while. So knowing what we're getting from which spot can really be helpful for you guys too.
Right. It takes a little bit more legwork up front to figure out which ones are going to be cheaper where. But
Mhm.
once you know that, then it makes your grocery shopping a lot easier.
Yes, for sure. And then things like, Thrive, where it comes right to your door, or if you do a pickup or something, you can start to really like keep note sections in your phone or just remember what you get from where. Like Christy said, it makes it super easy. Okay. All right, so we went ahead and put two different packages together for you guys that start off with some simple swaps. And again, we can customize this for items that you're looking for or that fit your family needs better. We haven't touched on cleaning and things like that. And medicine and all kinds of different things that we can touch on. We're probably going to host another one of these in the future. But for now, these are the two packages that we thought were a great way to get started with some healthy swaps for the summer. Both Chrissy and I are big advocates for our lip balm. We both love it, and we both use all of these items on ourselves and our family pretty much every day. So if you want to customize this or talk about any of these items, we'll be happy to share and answer any questions.
And something I want to say about the lip balm, my son constantly has a chapped ring around his lips. He licks as part of a like nervous habit. And when he puts this on at night, he wakes up in the morning and it's healed. And it's not like chapstick or lip smackers with the like more toxic ingredients that he's not only putting on his skin, but also ingesting because he's licking his lips, which everybody does.
Yeah.
So this gives you a great option that is safe to be on and in your body.
Yeah. You can always tell where my daughter is because there's like a fingerprint in mine, and I'm like, Seth, and then she'll eat it too. So it's like you said, it's really nice knowing that it's safe and that if it is ingested or if it is something that goes around, our face or our mouth area, that our kids are safe. So yeah, we thank you guys for coming and for watching this replay. If you have any questions, we're happy to help and answer anything you need. And we look forward to hearing how your summer goes and how awesome these swaps are for your families. Thank you guys.
Thank you.